I remember Chucky loses his glasses very well. This is the first segment of the 16th episode of the second season of Rugrats, and I think this is the first episode chronologically where I truly remembered watching it. It wasn't just little glimmers of memories. I actually could recall the episode pretty much all of the way through, and it doesn't surprise me because it was really good. In this episode, Chucky loses his glasses, but actually Angelica takes his glasses because Angelica is visiting well, her father is visiting Stu, but she's there with Phil and Lil and Tommy and Chucky, and they decide to play hide and seek, or hide and go peek, as I think they called it. And she forces it that Chucky is the one who has to do the counting, and she demands that Chucky takes off his extra eyes, his glasses, otherwise he could be peeking, and that's not fair. So the babies persuade him to take them off, and when he's not wearing the glasses, Angelica runs off with them. And of course, when Chucky opens his eyes after counting, he can't see. And I won't say exactly what happens at the moment, but I might, with a spoiler warning. But I really liked this episode. Chucky is absolutely adorable in it. I love how different he looks without his glasses, which is true for anybody. If somebody wears glasses all of the time and then all of a sudden they don't, it takes a bit of time to get used to it, including yourself. But I think it was very well animated. It's funny, but it's quite upsetting at the same time. For example, this might be a tiny spoiler, but I'm not going to spoil how the actual narrative concludes or anything, but something that happens in it is Chucky talks to a bush. And actually, one of my favourite lines in this was, "I thought you were a bush." I don't know why I found it so funny, it was just charming. But obviously, on the one hand, that's funny. Haha, Chucky's talking to a bush, he thinks it's Tommy. But at the same time, that's kind of heartbreaking. This little kid can't see anything properly. And he's lost and confused and out in the rain, and it's heartbreaking, and I really hate Angelica. I mean, I love to hate her. She's a brilliant, well-written character who often has some tough lessons to learn. And that's the case here. I was really pleased that they showed that wearing Chucky's glasses actually made her quite unwell. If you've ever worn anybody's glasses, if they have a really strong prescription, or much stronger than your prescription, it does make you feel sick and dizzy, and it's not advised, of course. And I do like the fact that the episode was saying, don't put on somebody else's glasses because you'll vomit. And I imagine, if a young child gets glasses for the first time, of course their friends are going to want to try them on and see what they're like, and that can be almost great fun as a child, but it's also important to not do that because it can damage your eyes, at least for any length of time. So I think it was a really smart decision to make Angelica really unwell, and to also show that if the other characters put them on, they couldn't see clearly. Things seemed like objects, the vegetables and things were not what they seemed. So I think it was a really important message there. And it developed really well. The pacing was great. It was very sweet. Tommy was the one who decided that they had to go and find Chucky because it had been a bit too long. And I loved his comment about Angelica. He said, "Let her find herself." I love that. Tommy basically saying, I don't care about my cousin Angelica. Chucky is my friend and he's the one who needs help. And I just thought it was so sweet and so moving. I could have done without I think it was the Drew's eye view of Angelica vomiting. That was unpleasant. But other than that, really well done, of course, very well animated. And it doesn't surprise me at all that I have a very vivid memory of this episode. I wonder if I had it on a VHS, because it seems like maybe I watched it quite a lot. I'm not entirely sure. Might have done, but either way, it doesn't surprise me that I remember it, because Chucky loses his glasses is wonderful.